ended. The bloodbath of 23 is no more. What's in store for 2024? Let's get into that as soon as we get back.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charlie from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Let's make Jeff get in here real quick because he's not there. Look at that. Perfect timing.
Oh, man. You got me right in mid-cough.
That's perfect, man. That's just
You're
how
a
we
bat.
do.
You're a B word, Charlie.
A barber?
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of, I really need to trim this up today.
He for everybody that doesn't know, he cuts his own hair.
That's right. I haven't paid someone to cut my hair since the 80s, yo. Which is sad because some of you aren't even born in the 80s.
Can I get some ice water, please?
Jeff's dying. We need ice water. Stat. The Donna to the rescue, please. The Donna. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? Okay, let's get it out of the way. Craig and Life on 18 Wheels were battling it out. But Craig ultimately got it up there first. They're both labeled at 3:03 p.m. So, I mean, they were seconds of each other.
Well, since you just met Life on 18 Wheels face to face the other day, I think that makes him the winner.
Well, I didn't just meet him. I met him in Ocala months ago. So before you ever met him. Haha. Sucker. Because he's one of those Ocala people. I'm just saying. Don't what? Why are you trying to bust bubbles, Jeff? Dang it. That was great. How is everyone doing? James Vaughn was up in here with his thing that I can't say, but that's a nice greeting from a Sikh individual right there. Not a sick individual. Don't make jokes. Jeff, that was wrong. Gosh. He was number 3, though. He did throw it out there. He was only about 13 minutes later than the first two fighting it out.
Oh, okay.
Nick Earl was in here. Not sure if he's here right now or not, but I'm glad you're here. Said he's looking to get a truck through a dealer here by the end of the year. That's pretty exciting. Bear Hunter was all up in here. Tim, the trucker Sayburn, good to see you, buddy. Matt Nissen, just going to click through these things. We'll come back to questions if there are any. CW, Happy New Year, everybody. Lisa, I don't think anyone was late at 5:58. See how I write that? I'm just saying. That posted at 5:58 p.m. I have a timestamp on it. I don't think you were late. And I'm sure you weren't trying to say I was late because I would never do that, Lisa. I'm just saying. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Matt Niston's just throwing it out there for the Swift guys. Your fuel surcharge this week's 43 cents. I could just put that banner up for you Swift guys. Let me throw it up here across the bottom. There you go. 0.43, and the OTR van West Coast fuel surcharge bump is still 11 cents. So that's cool.
Which is cool because I did 2 loads that qualify for that this week.
Nice.
I
Barb,
need it, man, because almost 300 miles of it was in Oregon. So
Happy New Year. Good to see you, Barb. Hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Hi, Lisa. Wait. Hey, sexy. Okay.
what?
I'm just saying, whatever. Bear Hunter thinks I'm sexy. It's okay. I ain't judging.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to click that box that says lewd comments and stuff when we do the replay for the search engine.
Right.
Thanks, Bear Hunter.
Right. James said, as a Sikh, and I didn't know this. I always wondered what the long hair thing and beard was with Sikhs.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, there was a big thing during COVID. There was a couple of doctors in LA that were Sikh, and they really they did all this on YouTube, and they were really debating. They had expertise to save people's lives.
Wow.
And with the beard and everything, they weren't going to be allowed in the hospital.
Wow.
To save people's lives. And so they really, really wrestled with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Trucker Dan. That's my forest wave. You like that? Just saying. Victor Jackson. Victor. Hola, hermano. Like my Spanish.
Victor.
I just like saying Victor. That's my grandson's name. Victor. It's just, you know what? Very fond memories. I know I've said it before. Very fond memories of my mother-in-law. I miss her. But Victor. She was yelling, Victor. ¿Dónde está Victor? Anyhow. There's some stuff. Hey, why don't we dip into the new year? I hope you guys had a good New Year, a good Christmas, and all that stuff. We did say we saw you the day after Christmas and close the year up that way. And so we'd like to talk about what we're going to do with this coming year a little bit more. I know we touched on some of it on the last episode of our live show, but here's what we're going to start focusing more on the live show here is mainly coming. We want to focus this on the live interaction, right? Questions, comments, problem solving, things like that, versus coming to you with our crazy own agendas on the weekly show. I mean, we could do recorded stuff for that, and that's actually what we're going to try to do with the podcast more often. To put more curated, magic words, curated content on the podcast.
And I think we can say a little bit more about the podcast, Charlie. We're in talks right now with some professional people that are going to help us with that, help us with the production stuff.
Oh man!
And it looks like to do this right, because as you guys know, we tend to like, hey, we're doing this thing, and then we do it, and then we suck at it.
Right?
Is that?
I don't think I don't think the first one was that bad.
No, neither do I.
I think the second one was going to be a struggle at 2 hours and 20 minutes. That was going to be a rough one.
But so what these professionals convinced us to do is hold off a couple of weeks, let them do their thing, and then we'll launch it properly. So that's what we're going to do. So we're not gonna we're gonna take a lesson from Brett Stewart, and we're not going to give you a date,
right?
Because every time that man gives a date, nothing happens.
Exactly.
So we're going to learn our lesson from that, and just stay tuned.
Dates are bad.
If you're in the Mighty Network and the community, we're going to start some stuff up there on the 15th.
Oh, you put a date on it, bro.
Well, that's because we already told them.
Just saying.
And
Mr. Contradiction.
We are going to be releasing our monthly trainings on the 15th of the month in that platform. So for those of you that are already in that platform, And again, we thank you for your support over the last years. We tried to figure all this stuff out. Get on there in the next 2 weeks. There will be an announcement on our thank you to you for supporting us in this first year.
Yep.
And for the rest of you, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing the new pricing structure. That's going to be a little different, and I think you'll like it. We're gonna give you some good value, and we're gonna bring some things to you that'll absolutely help you make more money in your business.
CW, have them edit out the uhs and ums. That's a thing. So when I was learning how to, I'm getting a phone call from Raj. I can't answer your phone call right now, Raj. Watch this. I'm gonna text him real fast. This is great radio. Watch this. Write a new message. You're gonna love this. I'm on the live show right now, texting you back.
You're missing it, Charlie. You're missing it.
Oh, hi, there's the Donna.
Hey, she sits down next to me when I'm live. She has to expect to be on camera at least once.
Right. So what I was saying, CW, so me learning how to edit a podcast, I am absolutely convinced that Jeff and I are morons.
Yep.
Because we say, we stutter. He and I stutter like nobody's business. And you don't
What?
Yeah, bro. Oh my God. You should see me trying to edit all of these, what I just did, these, right?
Well, a little recent history. Charlie and I actually got on a platform to record the first podcast, which is an introductory podcast. Who we are, nice to meet you, yada yada yada.
Right.
Ended up being what? Final cut was what? Just over 40 minutes. And
41
boy, there was a lot of could you say that differently? Maybe a little better.
Right.
Could you not stutter? Hey, dude, you just talked over me. Let's do that again.
Exactly, James. Words are hard sometimes, yo. So is math.
And then Charlie, of course, is our producer, so he had to go through and edit all that.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, the next one was supposed to be 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that was a cut down version of a show we did with Colton back in November, which was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I can only get it down to 2 hours and 20 minutes. And our producer guy's like, oh, it's great. I'm like, you're really not gonna like this one. He is definitely a firm believer in the 20 to 30 minute mark.
So we have a question for you guys too, because you know that I listen to a lot of podcasts, Charlie, as it is, and most podcasts are between 20 minutes and a half hour long. There's some longer ones, but those are usually guys like a Tony Robbins or something that they just go off for hours on stuff, and you enjoy it because it's him.
I got an emergency with Rod real quick, Jeff. Can you take over for a second?
Yeah. So what do you guys think of what's a good length of time for you guys? It's been suggested to us that probably 20 minutes to a half hour per episode. And if we have a longer cut, because like with Colton, as you know, that guy could talk, and you start getting him talking about numbers, and we're there for the day. And so something like that would probably be like a 2 or 3 episode thing. What do you guys think of that? What are you comfortable with? I know that we put that out on the Facebooks recently as well. And, it was kind of 50-50 guys that prefer the longer format to the shorter format and vice versa. But, this is something new for us, something that we think that will increase the value that we're bringing to you. Because, hey, on a podcast, you just push play. And there you have it. Charlie's looking like really serious over there. I don't know what's going on. Sean Freeman, loyal replay member, checking in from Jonestown. Oh, Johnstown, rather. Let's not get that confused. Where's your heart? We already did that one. Yeah, the magic of editing. So here's something, CW, with me. I've been trying to learn how to do some video editing and stuff, and boy, it is not my bag. That is not my bag at all. So what I have been doing is sending everything to that one, so that she can edit it, because I'm that guy. I got we kind of joke around about whether or not something's done, and I'll say, well, what are we not paying you for? so so yeah, this is a lot. This is definitely a family operation over at the Morton House. We're both heavily involved in the production and getting stuff out to you guys. Um, that no, he's there. Sean says, I think Charlie went out for pizza. No, he's there. I see him. He's on the phone. Bear Hunter gets James and AI met, just don't know it. Okay, maybe Charlie knows what that means. And hello from Donna there. She's on. And I got this thing in the middle, so I'm having a hard time reading stuff here. Mike Henderson, I see you, but I only see half your comment, so I'm just gonna willy-nilly put it up. Howdy guys, really like the interview with Addison. Yeah, so I did an interview with Addison about a week and a half ago, and Donna got that up on the YouTubes. When was it? Yesterday or the day before?
Day before, I think.
Day before, and it's not that long. It's about 40 minutes, give or take.
26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday. I got it up yesterday.
So, yeah, Addison, by the way, is the owner operator recruiter for Swift Transportation out of West Valley City. And the reason I want to interview him is because we had this really interesting conversation about whether or not the MRP, which is the maintenance repair program, the used truck lease, or the new truck lease was better as far as increasing your profits. And he and I do still disagree with this fundamentally, but in principle, he had some really interesting numbers with the freight volumes where they are right now. You may, I'm gonna put it that way. He's more confident in it. You may put more money in your pocket on a week-to-week basis on one of those used trucks than you do on one of the new ones, because the payment's lower, so your fixed costs are lower, and so it's less mileage to get to that break-even point. I still like the new trucks. I look at the total cost of ownership over time. My 2016, a little worse for wear, but I can get her back on the road sometime in the next year. I just need to finish up the repairs on it. And, that's 944,000 miles on that truck. So over the life of my truck, I think it beats the used truck deal as far as leasing trucks. Now, if you guys go out to, say, an Aero Truck Sales, or you go to JB Ritchie's, to the auctions, and you pick up a used truck at a good price, you're going to beat me hands down, because I'm going to spend more money on the outset for that brand new truck. And especially I'll say, I'm pretty confident that at Aero Truck Sales, they do enough of inspections and checks on those trucks that you're probably getting a pretty solid truck out of those guys. They've got a reputation for a reason.
Can I just put in a plug here for Tony real fast and Seabright Insurance?
Yeah.
Because this is totally amazing, and I'm gonna
Breaking news
for real. Let me put their little thing on the bottom here so you can see who we're talking about. So our insurance carrier, our preferred insurance carrier for those of us that like it over here, Contractors Corner. You can call them at 800-366-6466. Anyhow, one of our guys from our group was just involved in an accident. Had someone just wrapped up with the police. Had someone run a red light. My buddy Raj couldn't stop quite in time to avoid him, and messed up his headlight and part of his bumper, and clobbered the car that ran the red light. You know what I mean? In the intersection. And I was like, well, hold on, let me try and get a hold of Tony real quick. And I texted him and I called him. I didn't give him time to answer a text. I called him. He is dealing with family stuff right now, and he said, give me 15 minutes and have your driver call me, and I will take his claim right now tonight and get it all processed in the morning. Dude, I'm just saying, it's 5:30 in the evening over there, his time in the Minnesotas, or yeah, he's in Minnesota, right? Yeah. And that kind of service.
Chino.
I'm just saying, man, service, service. So I got to text him. So you're gonna have to give me just a minute, Jeff. I'm gonna text Raj his cell number for Tony real quick.
Sweet.
And I just wanted to share that real quick. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You look like you had a good groove. I apologize. I'll be right back.
And now it's gone. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, Sean, so here's where we're gonna agree. Yeah. So for the term of the lease, okay, from the time you start the lease to the time you own the truck, assuming that you're gonna buy it out at the end of the lease, when you run all the numbers, it's within a couple grand to actually own the truck. And this is where I'm going to disagree with Addison a little bit, and he knows this, so we're still friends. Again, I'm looking at total ownership of a truck. So when you lease one of the used trucks, the MRP trucks, that thing's already got 350, 400,000 miles on it. It's just right at that point where it's about ready to get off its warranty, because they will not put a truck into that program until it's been on the road for 4 years, whether it's a company truck or another lease truck. Because a lot of guys, they just lease a new truck every 4 years, and you guys all know our opinion on that. I think that if you want to make money in the long term, that you pay a truck off. I just went 2 years without any payments, and thank goodness, because look at what the economy did. And it put me in a position to where this truck started costing me so much downtime. I was like, gosh, I'm not making money. I better get another truck.
Right.
And it didn't hurt me that much because I had those 2 years without payments. But yeah, when you bounce dollar for dollar, the purchase price is going to be about the same, because for that extended warranty on the MRP trucks, you start off paying 7 cents a mile for that warranty. Then it goes to 8 cents. Then it goes to 9 cents. So by the time you add all that up, you've paid about the same for each truck. Difference is that my brand new truck, when I pay it off, has 400,000 less miles on it. And if the guys at Pittsburgh Power are correct, and we're really going to get 1.52 million miles out of these trucks, you just took when you lost a quarter of your lifespan on a truck with those used trucks. Now, I want to go back to our opinion, Charlie, on leasing a new truck every 4 years.
Right.
So I'm 50 years old. I anticipate driving till I'm about 60. So it would pay for me to purchase my trucks. Once I get to the end of the lease, purchase them, because I'm going to have another 6 years on that truck. As a solo driver, again, we're assuming that Pittsburgh Power is right. If I do everything that Bruce's people tell me as far as maintenance, this truck should last me almost 2 million miles. Well, that's a decade as a solo driver. That's my retirement time. This will be the last truck I buy. And I can have that last stretch to retirement with no payments. Now, if you're retiring next year, probably ought to just, let's do 4 years, Charlie, because leases are 4 years long. If you're retiring in 4 years, let me rethink this. See, we're let's say you're retiring. I think 6 years. Okay, so on year 4, you're faced with buying that truck or not. I don't think in 2 years you're going to recoup that money. And so, what do you do at that point?
Right.
That's a really tough one too, Charlie, because if you've only got 2 years left to drive, and you just love being an owner operator, what are
Right.
you going to do? You're going to drive for 2 years and then turn the truck in and do what we always tell you is kind of a jerk move and say up your Swift.
You know what though? I think you can be open about it.
You think so? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I think you could go into it saying, "Hey, look, in 2 years, maybe they could even work you a different deal."
Well, my truck is a 2-year lease.
So
on a
there you
Brown.
go.
So maybe there's enough of those in the fleet.
Sean was asking, is your motor still good on your 16, Jeff?
Mhm.
At 940,000 miles? Yeah. Mike Henderson said,
So I
in a lease in 4 years, so flipping trucks works better for him.
disagree. Because in 4 years, you're absolutely in the money. So you have 1.6 million miles on the truck after 8 years. But you got 4 years without payments.
All right.
Do that math. And so the problem I'm having is I've got a transmission issue, and I just really need to go through the truck and replace everything that's made out of rubber on that truck.
Right.
Which, if I had followed Bruce's advice, by the way, just so y'all know, yes, Charlie and I make mistakes. Anyway,
What?
if I had followed Bruce's advice at 500,000 miles, I would have just replaced all the rubber hoses and fittings and everything on that truck.
Right.
That's his recommendation, along with the crankshaft dampener, leaf springs, a whole host of things that people don't
Right.
think of at that 500,000 mile mark. And is that a chunk of change? It sure is.
Right.
You're looking $12,000-$13,000.
What's the ROI down the road? And
Oh,
saved lost
dude.
crown time.
Right. Donna could probably tell you how much downtime I've had because of maintenance this year, because she's stressed about it.
Right.
She likes to have me home, but more than that, you know what she likes, Charlie? To
I
pay
got
the
you.
bills.
Oh, yes. That's where I was going.
Yeah. Oh, Donna, did you hear that Charlie found the hee-haw button that was used in the podcast with Jeff Reese?
I definitely have a hee-haw button.
We found a hee-haw button, so we can use it.
That's right. For when I say stupid things. CW said that's why we lease a new every 4 years. Running team, we run close to 1 million mile in 4 years, so another 2 to 4 years before needing another truck. He said that 4 years without payments is only if you don't finance a truck. That's a thing.
Yes, but if you're running a team and that kind of mileage, why don't you have $65,000 in the bank at the end of 4 years?
Right. There's something there.
That's what I would say. But it's, then we talk about
Things happen.
Right. Well, we also talk about some of my woo-woo guru stuff that I like
Right.
to talk about. Where's your priorities? I mean, if you have different priorities,
Right.
and you can express those, like if I was to actually coach you and you can express to me, hey, these are my priorities and this is why. Okay. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just going to say that you could, in 4 years on a team operation in 1 million miles, come up with $65,000 to buy that truck up.
Right. Mike said he runs students. There's no way the truck is getting to 1.6.
I'm going to argue it, Mike.
Get him, Jeff.
Mike, I had this idea to get a boxing ring for charity next year at Driver Appreciation Week, to do that for Swift charities.
That'd be fun.
We're getting in the ring, man.
Jeff wants me to fight
with these trucks. Why is the student putting that much more wear and tear on an automatic truck?
Mama shopping therapy. I know all about that right there.
Hey, that's a priority, man.
Absolutely.
I get it. So, the modern trucks, they're really tough to screw up. They really are. So, I'm still getting emails.
She just wants bills paid in an emergency fund.
Yeah. Yeah. So how all couples have the things that just don't, it causes a fight every time.
Right.
Trying to get her to spend money on herself.
I understand that.
I told her someday when I'm a gazillionaire, I'm going to give her best friend like 10 grand and say, take her shopping because she will not spend this.
Right. For real.
on
It's
herself.
Rosie too. Rosie is that way. She'll go buy things for everybody but herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she had 10 grand right now in her pocket, she would go buy something for everyone but herself.
I don't know. She has this thing with wanting food at the house, and I don't know. It's weird.
Taylor asks, well, how far back is modern?
Well, according to Bruce Mallison at Pittsburgh Power, trucks that are newer than 2014. Those are the trucks that they're seeing that are getting the 1.5 million miles.
Hey, Taylor. Oops, wrong one. Hey, Taylor.
So again, there's a disclaimer there. That's assuming that you're doing all the maintenance that
Right.
his people are telling you to do.
Not
He's
the
not
required
saying
maintenance.
he's not saying that you have to take it to Pittsburgh Power and have his people do it. He's saying if you do this, 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 and this,
Right.
your truck should last this long because that's what they're seeing. We have trucks that are old enough now to where they're starting to see, team operations that really do have 1.8 million miles on an engine without an M-frame.
Right.
When we talked to him about it, he was like perplexed. He's like, I don't know. We have to change the way we're thinking with these trucks. But the other thing is, though, here's the thing: like with the old Series 60 that you had in Chewy, right?
Yep.
You could rebuild that thing 20 times. Apparently, not with these trucks.
Right.
When they go down hard, when they get to that 2 million mile mark, you just scrap them.
The blocks are toast.
You either have to get a new engine or you scrap it and buy a new truck. That's what it is. So whereas the older trucks, when you get back there before the emissions and all that stuff, those really cool trucks, you can rebuild those till kingdom come.
Right.
You cannot do that with the new trucks. So if you're one of those people that's fortunate enough to have one of those older trucks and you're still running them and you don't have to go to places like California,
Right.
dude, I would keep that thing forever.
How
I would
many
just
you
make
were
sure I had enough money
getting
to keep
Cali
rebuilding
out
it.
of? How many of you are getting Cali out of your repertoire now? I'm just curious. With all the new emission stuff, right? Careful.
I want to, but I live in the West Coast area, so it's kind of hard. Charlie, I took a load going to Oregon this week,
Right.
just to get freight.
CW, I said, why a new block can get oversized bearings and new sleeves. They're seeing that the blocks themselves are warping to a point that they're not serviceable or repairable.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I recall. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. I'd really have to go back and re-listen to that show again. But
Well, even Bruce, he's getting information from his mechanical engineer.
Right.
So I have a 19 kW. Okay. You want to take that one, Charlie?
It's KW. I apologize. I'm not a KW fan. Although, you know what? I don't think the 19s were falling apart like the 20s were.
No, I don't think so.
Because it was, 21 or 22 when they started changing the body style and all those body parts started falling off. So I don't know.
Oh, here's an interesting thing. Speaking about KW, guess who's getting out of his KW?
Who?
Alan Becker.
Oh, there you go.
But you know why? Because he can't find anybody to drive his manual transmission Volvo.
Wow. Sorry, sneeze. All right, I got a bit of a cold. Ugh,
I mean, he will tell you straight up that it's cheaper to, the Freightliner is cheaper to maintain, gets better fuel mileage, but he just loves his Kenworths, just loves them. And so when he told me he was giving up his Kenworth and giving that to one of his drivers, I asked him, well, why? You love that trailer? He's like, I do, but nobody else can drive the manual one.
Right. James, you are absolutely right. In this market, it's hard to turn down California load. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not turned down a California load since I've gotten this Freightliner, this 23. I just haven't gotten any California loads. Maybe one. No, I don't even think we went in there once.
No, I don't think so.
It's crazy. I don't know the answer to that question, Life on 18 Wheels. He asked our Freightliner blocks iron, aluminum, graphite. I think they're aluminum, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
You could find out.
Tim the Truck Saver said, crazy that my cousin would rather start a new lease every 3 years just to avoid the additional taxes,
Oh, another one.
not writing off payments. But then you
Oh,
get depreciation.
yeah.
That's a
You end
terrible
up
reason.
oh,
The truck is free by the end of the depreciation.
So you're writing off the lease payments, and then you depreciate your truck down to zero value, which means by the time you're done with all that, you got the truck for free. Let's take it to the next insane step, and I don't know if your cousin will listen to you on this, but here's how tax deductions actually work. Okay, let's say that you're we'll just make the numbers easy, and your tax bracket is 10%, and you have $1,000 worth of tax deductions. Okay, you just saved $100 by paying $1,000. You lost $900 on that deal. You just gave away $900
for no reason.
For no reason at all. None. And especially those 3 years that you depreciate the truck, dude, that threw me all the way down to like the government thought that I swear CSD was going to come get my kids because there was no way I could feed them off that income that I was reporting. That's how much depreciation affects your taxes.
Tim followed up with, yeah, she and her hubby, who both lease, say they start breaking down after 3 years. Shaking my head.
Mine didn't.
Yeah,
mine took almost 8 years to start breaking down, but okay. We could go all day, man. What's the next? Right? What's the next objection?
CW, I question the new block unless major damage. I was running a 64 auto car all day before coming to Swift. Has a 290 big cam in it. So, but yeah,
that's a different engine though.
Right. And the way that they're building these blocks now, I truly just think that that's part of the design, that it's just made to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They want you to crate motor or buy a new truck.
Yeah.
I have nothing to back that up. Purely my wandering mind opinion, right? But it just seems that way for a lot of things these days. It's hard to find people that want to build stuff to last forever.
Yep.
They see that as some sort of downfall, I guess. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Build a good product, people will buy it. They'll share it with more people will buy it.
Yeah.
Seems logical to me. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, there's that.
Do you ever read the story of the light bulb cartels?
No.
So did you know that there is an Edison light bulb that's been burning in a fire station in England for over 100 years? Never been turned off.
Right.
One of the originals. So apparently, early on, they kept on improving the life of light bulbs, these different companies. And then this big cabal of light bulb company factory owners got together and said, yeah, we're going to put that to a stop.
Right.
And the lifespan of a light bulb actually went down by like 30 or 40% when they did that. And they checked on each other to make sure nobody was making a better light bulb.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe that's what's happening with trucks now. I'm just saying, it's happened before.
3 students of trekking, Stu Coach Cooper. Can we plan a retirement party with lots of weed? How about 2030? Hey, that's fair.
Hey, I'm not judging.
Right.
I partake, but I'm not judging.
And Matt Nissen, it seems like they've gone to a throwaway
mindset. The time on that one
I think that is an absolute thing. I think there is a throwaway mindset.
Oh, absolutely. In the Western in Western culture,
right?
They were talking on one of the Rutherford's podcasts here probably about a year ago. These emission trucks, especially like the really bad ones, like 2012, 2013, when they were just terrible. Nobody wants to make them resaleable,
right?
When those one boxes go out because they're so expensive. You know what's happening in those trucks, Charlie? They're going down to Mexico where they just take the one box off because they don't have any emission standards.
Right.
And they drive the heck out of them for like another 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, that was they were talking about that was one of the problems with the used truck market was because there were so many trucks going down there.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an easy way to get rid of that problem, and there's an actual decent market down there to sell them in.
Yeah.
And then they just run the hell out of them, and they do just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of all that 10,000 pounds of nonsense or whatever it is.
All the restriction, all that stuff.
Open them up and let them go, man. Let it actually do its thing. It's crazy. Although I will admit, I mean, like on this 23, I've seen some of the earlier emission trucks. Those 2018s were weird years, I think. And they really seem to be far more economical now, at least my personal experience and trying to read through anecdotally, the info that's out there. People seem to complain less about, like 23, 24. I mean, granted, they're new, right? 22s, 21s had a little bit of a shaky spot, I think, but not horrible. So I don't know, man. I think they're getting better with it finally because they're not having to jump out of their backside to meet new emission standards right now, like they were. I mean, it was every 3 years, every 4 years, they had to meet a whole new set of standards. Couldn't even get the last one finished before they had to start working on the next one.
Well, that's what happened to me with the 2012. That was such a dog of a truck. That was the first year with SCR being mandated, the DEF, and boy, was that just a terrible year to buy a truck.
Mike's fighting with you. Ready to go. Mike said, so you're telling me to keep a truck over 800K, yet you take care of your truck, and you're getting in a new truck at 800-ish on your truck. He's at 940. You lose too much money on downtime on old trucks.
Only because of two things. Number one, I mistakenly didn't save enough money.
Right.
That's on me. Secondly, I'm building a small fleet, and this is the first truck in my small fleet. That truck will be back on the road in about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, there is thought behind the whole process.
And I will run that truck another probably 6 years and then get rid of it. I mean, do the math. That's all I'm saying. Do the math on it.
Right.
Don't look at this from a place of fear. Oh my goodness, what if it breaks down? Well, what if it does? Prepare better than Jeff did. Learn from my mistake. That's what we're about here.
That's why we share these
monsters. That's why we share these things. Yeah, that's why we share. We do make mistakes, and when we do, especially if we think it's going to help you to learn from us, we tell you about them. My mistake was I did not save enough money. Because if I had, I would have just stayed at home for a month while I got that truck completely fixed.
Right.
And in almost 8 years of running that truck, Charlie, that's on me 100%. I made plenty of money. I should have been able to do that.
Right.
And I didn't. Instead, I bought a house that cost, 4 times more than my old one. So again, priorities though, right? I prioritized that thing, and now there are consequences for that prioritization. And I'm okay with that. So,
I mean, it's a thing. I look. Jeff and I tell you guys all the time. How the reason I ended up retiring Chewy was one, I could not. My back and my neck could not take it anymore. Like my body's just physically breaking down. I mean, that's just what it is. It's physically breaking down, right? But on the other side of that is I didn't save all the money that I should have saved because I wasn't thinking and life got in the way, right? Because that happens. A bunch of unexpected things popped up and health matters and all this other stuff. I mean, for the surgery.
Right. I was going to say, Charlie, that part of your thing, for me, it was moving to Utah from Oregon. That was the priority for us.
Right.
And that took a lot of money. For you, it was your health failed you. And I remember
it's still,
you were down a lot that year.
Right.
And you were using your savings to live. But here's the thing, guys. And Charlie, you should feel good about this. You were able to survive because you had that money.
Right.
Now, because he needed that money for the purposes, it couldn't go to the truck because it was already spent.
Yeah.
But because he had a way of surviving when his health failed. So whether it's for truck maintenance or used for health, or you just want to escape the People's Republic of Oregon like I did,
right?
or if you just want to maintain that truck for 2 million miles. It all takes money.
Murphy always shows up, says Josh McLean. Absolutely.
Yep.
Murphy is a bad thing.
Yeah. Don't
Hey,
like that
you know
guy.
what? I'm going to do a thing. Watch this. I'm going to do a live read for one of the people that we love in business. Ready for this? You're going to love it. Wait. Are you tired of dealing with that 800-pound gorilla in truck tax accounting? We get it. We've been talking about it, and there's a better way. Introducing truckercfo.com. They're your go-to source for all things tax and accounting without the headaches. Forget the huge guys. You need the best team on the planet. And guess what? They're right there at truckercfo.com. They've got your back. No need to deal with that 800-pound gorilla. You deserve better at truckercfo.com. Their people are not just there. They're there to help you. Real business consulting, real tax expertise, and a commitment to your success. Hey, did you miss a tax payments for a year? Or are you facing other challenges? Hey, you know what? No worries. They offer tax resolution services. Your solution is just a call or click away. Visit truckercfo.com today, where expertise meets enthusiasm, or call 800-533-4230. Talk to their friendly team and let's get your business on the right track. Truckercfo.com, because your business deserves the best and tax experts you can trust. I did a thing.
Yay.
That was fun. I
We're trying
apologize.
new stuff.
I'm not
We like
apologizing.
it.
Yeah, we're just trying to, broaden our thing. Look, and maybe someday we're gonna make $12 billion,
Maybe. I hope. Maybe
or
that'd be good.
like $3. That's cool.
Ooh.
Hey, full disclosure, we do get a referral bonus from Trucker CFO if you do sign up. It's a modest referral bonus. We ain't getting rich off it, but So hey, if you think about it, make sure you mention Contractors Corner when you call them, and then Jeff and I can get a couple bucks and pay for our tax service with
Yep.
Trucker CFO, something like that. I'm just saying. Yeah, but yeah. So he forgot to warn us about the advertising. CW said, well, that's fair. I don't want you to
Look how sneaky he is.
right?
Sneaky snake.
Snake. I really gotta find that thing. And oh God, Alan, the sneaky snake. That was so much fun.
So there is an actual answer for Three Stooges. I know he's usually just kind of trolling a little bit, but the whole thing with the whole 420 as a CDL driver, it is still a class. Help me out, Charlie.
Yep.
It is still a Schedule what drug?
Schedule A.
Still a Schedule A drug in the federal books. And your license, although issued by the state, is regulated by the federal government. And so as a federal license, you fall under federal law.
And they have no testing currently to find out, like a BAC for alcohol. Your body doesn't metabolize THC and those sort of things the way it metabolizes alcohol in, a matter of hours, maybe 24 at best if you really tied one on. THC is like 28 days.
Yep.
I mean, so all they can say is, yes, you smoked sometime in the last 28 days. And if they pull hair, good Lord.
You're done.
I mean, years they can go back and see.
So, we know you Three Stooges. We know you like being controversial a little bit, and we like it too because it actually gets us likes, by the way. So thank you.
Man. I like it.
But there is an actual real answer to that question, and it's because of the federal thing.
Right.
My feeling is, and you know me, Charlie, I'm never gonna try the herb. It's not my thing. But my feeling is eventually it will cease being a scheduled drug.
Right.
And it'll just be whatever. That just seems to be the way things are going. It's going to take more time. And then, the different states can decide if they want to pass a law that prohibits it or not.
Right.
Because you can always add more laws, but you can't take away laws.
Right. I dig states' rights. I'm just saying, if I don't like a state's rules, then I may move to a different state.
Chances are, if it ceased to be a scheduled drug on the federal side and you decide to bring your relaxation edibles with you to the state of Utah, guess what? Because Utah is, let's be real, pretty religious group of people that have opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be kind of like when Charlie talks about the Second Amendment. You got to make sure you know what the laws are, where you're going when that happens.
That's right. Hey, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new here and never seen us before, or maybe you watch us on a semi-regular basis and you are, aren't subscribed. Hey, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, click the notifications button. In that notification button, you can select to notify you of everything that pops up or just some things, or you could set it to none. Don't forget to go into your mobile app on your phone and set notifications there as well. That way it all works and you know when we put out new things.
James Vaughn, sorry, my 12-year-old having a meltdown over fact my wife screwed with her TV. Holy smokies.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Would I, Violet Morton over there on her phone?
What?
I'm just
Never.
so my whole family except for one is actually in the living room right now. So if I have a chance, I will call them out for something during
Right.
this episode.
Poke the bear, bro. What could go wrong on live show?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm just waiting for someone to throw a rock at him. I want to see like a shoe fly across the room. And even better, if the shoe gets impaled in the wall behind him, that's going to be epic. And that is absolutely a short happening. Just saying, Donna, a flying shoe stuck in a wall. That's gold.
So my son Mike knows exactly what happens when someone puts a hole in one of my walls. It's not me.
YouTube gold.
Oh yeah.
YouTube gold.
How old were you, Mike? Like 16, 15 on that one? Huh?
Something like that.
Yeah. He had to go buy the patch kit himself and put it up himself. And yeah,
12.
he didn't do that anymore.
Right. Look, man, I may have in my past put a hole in a wall here or there. I tried to put one in a brick wall one day, bowling, because I lost my temper bowling. I was quite the bowler back in the day, like legit. Was at 16, was looking at trying to get into the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like for real, was actually good enough to do it. Had a long-standing league average back in the day that would have accommodated that. Yeah, it's a funny thing. And I was surrounded by pro bowlers back in the day. It was weird. I don't even understand it. But look, one day in a very high stakes tournament, I was bowling in the alley and I was on the lane that was at the very end in this stupid tournament. And it's just a terrible place to be. I mean, anyone who bowls knows you don't want to be up against the wall. Anyhow, I was well on my way to a 300 game, like 9th frame struck out, right? All the way to 9th frame. And guttered it, straight guttered in the 9th frame, like 2 feet from the freaking line. It just the most amazing meltdown you ever saw to a perfect game. And me and my brilliant 16-year-old mind turned, faced the brick wall that is probably like 90,000 feet thick, and nailed it. To this day, my little pinky is crooked from when I broke it on that brick wall. Can I tell you the rest of the tournament didn't go great for me that night? I'm just saying that was the first game of the tournament. I made some pretty good money, but not what I should have made. That's for sure.
Yeah. Tim says he broke his parents' garage door when he was a kid playing He-Man.
Nice.
Oh man, I remember I was at my best friend's house when I was a teenager. We were wrestling in the hallway, and my friend Jason, even at the time, was like over 6 foot, and we were like 12 or 13. He was a big guy, my friend Jason. And somehow I got a lucky shot on him, and he went right into that wall, full body impression. And yeah, his dad made us fix that.
Right. Bear Hunter, why do you think we're paying attention to you? I'm just playing, man. Hey, by the way, I know I owe you a call, bro, and I'm really sorry. It's been a mother of a week again. I do apologize, sir. I know I owe you a call. I'm a terrible person. What do you want from me? I'm trying, man. If let's say you wanted to pay me $500 an hour, I would probably stop whatever the heck I was doing.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's what I charge, but I'll take it. Anyhow, I love you, man. I'm just playing with you. Oh, Lord. Yep.
All right. What else we got?
There's all kinds of stuff that's been scrolling by. Oh, Matt. Look, man, I tried, brother. He said I never returned his call. You know what? You're right. But I love you, man. Base orange frowning. That's what it says.
So here's something that a friend of mine, I'll put it that way, okay, brought to my attention over the last few months as I've been talking to him since he left Swift. Mr. Dennis Lewis. He's working at a carrier, and the dispatchers are not in this country. Have any of you guys heard of that type of dynamic, where you're calling your dispatch and it's someone not here?
That would be weird.
I can't even wrap my mind around how that works. I mean, because Charlie and I have built our business off around going to a terminal and talking you face to face, eye to eye. Hey, how are you doing? I just don't know how you do that when it's all on the phone, man.
James, I'm going to edit this. No poop. He never returns my calls. I'm sorry, man. Look, it's been a rough week. It's been a really rough couple of weeks. I'm working on it. And yeah, what do you want from me, guys? I try. See, they'll be glad he doesn't love me that way. Right. Hey, Michael Fowler said, Jeff, thanks for the interview with Addison yesterday. It's very informative. Or he said informative, excuse me. Don't want to put words in his mouth. James said, yep, GP Transco does that too with the out of country dispatchers.
Yeah, it's just weird. Of all the things to outsource like that, there must be profit in it, right?
Must be
for the carriers to do that.
Sean Fairman said Super Eagle, all from Serbia, no America dispatch.
That's right. I heard that. I've heard that too. Super Ego. There was another group that I was on that was a dude was asking, what do you guys think about this, the deal they've got over at Super Ego? And there was not a serious answer in there. It was all just like, oh yeah, they're great. And LOLs and a little late to get in on the lawsuit and all that stuff.
Just pile on, y'all. It's okay. I'll take it. I admit it. I try. I'm trying. But Jeff answers just have to give him a few minutes. I'm just saying. That's what Matt Nissen said.
I do. Oh. And if I'm truly busy and I know who it is, I'll usually text you back and say, hey, I'm busy. Give me a minute.
Jeff's a better person than I am. Three Stooges of Trucking, Stewie, Coach, and Cooper said, contractor freight is easy to dispatch. I see the same customers. They run me in nice triangles. Love GP. There you go.
Okay. Nice.
James said there's smaller companies owned by Sikhs have people in Punjab. I just like that name, Punjab. Is that wrong?
Yeah, but that actually makes sense.
Right.
To me. Say what you want about why I would have that opinion, but it does make sense to me, Charlie, that would be the case.
Right.
There's trust issues sometimes. I'm just going to put it that way.
Right.
Best thing about GP as a company guy, they won't force you to go to the East Coast. Okay.
Hey, Matt said he hasn't received any more phone calls, just to let you know, Jeff.
Did I miss one? Now I'm going to lose sleep. Thanks, Matt. Did I miss one?
Good job, Matt. I appreciate it. He forgot what you even talked about. That's what I'm getting out of this right here. This face of his right now. Look, let's bring it up. Oh,
makes you feel. That makes you feel bad, Matt. Why you?
Good job, brother. I like it. Matt, Jeff needs a hug now. I'm just saying.
He's a good one for it too. I still need to put the bungee cords on the front of my new truck. I think I've decided, Charlie, that I'm going to do that with every truck.
That's funny.
It's going to be my thing.
Phone calls from safety, Jeff. Is that ringing a bell?
Okay, gotcha.
Sometimes you got to direct him. Look, he can't remember anybody's name either, Matt.
Who?
Exactly.
So Matt, I'm going to call you out on this one a little bit. So Matt called me just hopping mad. And I think legitimately so. Matt is still has the Smart Drive camera. For those of you that aren't Swift, don't know that's the company camera. Well, it's because he was mentoring,
right?
And he had some things happen where they were calling him, and they sounded an awful lot, Charlie, like coaching.
Right.
So I remember
You're
when
not coaching.
just over a year ago, we started this whole insurance thing, and you have to have the Swift Camry for gas, Swift insurance, and all that. They told us, "Oh no, we can't coach you guys. You're contractors." Okay, so we knew that it was going to turn into this coaching, not coaching thing. That's absolutely what was happening, Matt, for a while. I would be interested, Matt. Did it just stop, or did you make a phone call and say, "Hey, this is some BS right here"?
It's a thing. CW asked, "What did you do to get on safety's radar?" Maybe you shouldn't talk about that openly. I don't know. Maybe you should. I don't know. I'm trying not to get on anybody's radar personally, except some planner that's like got too much freight and not enough drivers. Like that exists anymore right now,
That'd be great,
right?
wouldn't it?
That's the radar I want to get on. Wanda just called me.
Oh,
Yeah, that's funny. She's like, "It's Tuesday. Poop." Okay. I told her I'm on the show live right now.
you know what's funny is Colton tried to call me just as we started.
Nice.
His excuse was that he thought it was Monday, though.
That's okay. I can relate to that. I was kind of wishing it was Monday when I woke up this morning. I'm like, good Lord.
So Matt I'll throw it up. Matt says, "I did make a call and inquired about it." So good on you, Matt. And this is not, again, this is another one of those things, Charlie. This is not unique to Swift, right? You run into some sort of issue with somebody at a company, say something, try to work it out. Don't just get mad. Don't just quit like people we know have done. Try to get it worked out. Use it as an opportunity to foster that relationship with the people that can actually help you in your business.
Right.
Brian Jess is checking in from Auburn, Alabama. On my
There
way
she
to a
is.
second stop.
Sorry.
Man, I'm dedicated to you guys. Dedicated. You guys are home. Well, I didn't plan on being home. It just happened that I ran this interesting circuit.
Right.
And I was left with like 12 hours on my 70 when I delivered in Salt Lake City this morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a 34 at home then. Why not?
Jim Wall feels like a Monday. It does, right?
Yeah.
And look, speaking of Wanda, what's up, Effa? Hey, glad to see you. I'm going to do my best to give you guys that I need calls. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Hey, Happy New Year to you, lady. I appreciate it. She's got the lingo going. I love her bilingualness. It keeps me on my toes.
Okay.
She texts me like that too sometimes, and I'm like, oh, wait, I know this. I think she does it just to watch my brain go like that. Because she knows it does. It's amazing. I love it. I try to do better, but I'm a terrible speaker. I am absolutely a horrible Spanish speaker. Like, hey, I joke about saying things like "Hola, hermana," because I like to say it because it sounds silly, but in reality, I really struggle to say hermana. I'm just saying. I have to think about the words as I say them, and hermana.
At least you know them.
Hermana sounds so much more fun. I'm just saying, little country.
A little bit country,
right.
A little bit rock and roll.
Right. CW said put a cheap camera in the window and record it as well. Then you can dispute it. Right. Oh, Matt said they looked at his history and could historically see it is normal in the single digit or zero. Well, that's cool. It's good to have that history, I guess.
So, Matt, the question is, do you plan on going back to mentoring? And if not, when are you going to make the switch?
Right.
So you can get rid of that camera and pay less for insurance. At Seabright.
Right. We had a guy we were talking about earlier, guy got into an accident this evening, and we managed to get a hold of Tony 15 minutes later. I'm just saying. Live during the show, I did that. It's crazy.
Left me on my own to talk.
I did. Totally left Jeff all by himself.
And then I finally got in a groove, and he came back and messed it up.
Right. And then left again. He said, nope, he's making the switch this year. That's what Matt Nissen said. He's done with mentoring and gonna make the switch. Good for you, man.
Excellent. So Swift charged me on the new truck $98 to remove that camera. Just so you know, don't be surprised. I did remove the Zonar out of the old truck myself, but that was not really a big deal. That camera is like wired in weird and stuff. I don't think I'd want to mess with the camera.
Yeah, Matt said now that that financially things are getting back in line. Yeah, Matt had a rough stretch, and we did a lot of talking back and forth, and he was seeking advice from the people that he's built in his team. Folks like Jeff and myself, a couple other people that he talks to for advice and things like that. And Matt's gotten himself turned around and squared away, to where he's not on the ropes so much, right? I don't think
Yep.
I'm sharing out of, I don't know, who knows.
Yeah. And CW, I agree with you. Worth every penny.
Yeah, on a good camera.
I gladly paid that to get that camera out of there.
Well, what he was saying was cheap camera only with the company camera. If no company camera, buy a good camera. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a thing. See that we just pulled the power cord. I don't recommend that. I can't say that out loud. Get you in trouble. Just saying. Hey, you guys with these ideas on how to defeat these company cameras, I'm going to tell you it's a bad idea. In this market right now, they're letting people go. I mean, we just had someone go recently in my neck of the woods and we had a discussion much like this in the private Facebook group. A red light. First infraction they've ever had in their entire career. Contract terminated or fired. I don't know if they were a contractor or a company.
They were
guy.
a contractor, yeah.
Well, there was that one in the group, and the one that's over here in my neck of woods. I don't know if he was a company guy or a contractor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. Jeff and I lost our driver leader, and we're hearing, good Lord, we don't know what happened with Uncle Russ in Troutdale. Any of you who know Troutdale and know Uncle Russ, he's no longer at Troutdale anymore. Our favorite planner. Man, that makes me sad.
So this is something that we need to talk about, Charlie. Our entire, for me at least, I'm having to go back to basics right now because Dana was an integral part of my business. I worked with her for 18 years. I built my business around that relationship, and now that relationship is gone. So what do you do now?
Right.
I
kind of threw us for a loop, man.
I am building a relationship with Lenka out of Troutdale. She seems to be pretty good so far. One of the things that Charlie and I did when we found out about it was we called we actually got a hold of Lonnie, the terminal leader out of Troutdale,
right,
on a conference call with me, him, and Charlie, and said, "What up?
What the heck happened, man?"
Keeping
within the limits of what he could talk about.
And we hammered out, okay, well, let's try this, let's try that, let's build a relationship with this person. Okay, Lonnie. And Lonnie was like, if you need anything, let me know, and we'll see if we can't make the transition easier for you guys. Because, well, guess what? We also have a relationship with Lonnie Rains.
And, before any one of you wonderful folks out there says, well, it's only because of YouTube channel. No, we had this relationship with Lonnie Rains.
Especially, again, that terminal is in what state, Charlie?
Oregon.
Does Oregon hire owner-operators?
No.
We are 2 of 5 people in that entire terminal that are contractors. Is it 6?
Yeah.
So no, our YouTube channel has nothing on that. Would Lonnie hate to lose us? Yeah, but he's not going to lose sleep over it if we go to Ocala.
Right.
6 guys.
Michael Fowler, can I plug a company that had camera systems? Absolutely. We love sharing that kind of stuff. It lets everybody go do some research and check things out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, definitely don't remove cameras yourself. Always have the company remove them and have your own camera to protect yourself. These companies can let you go for anything. Back it up. That is from Wanda. La Jepa. I like it. That is good advice, madam. I'm just saying. I called you madam.
Yeah, and Wanda, it's on. This one's on me, but I was supposed to contact you this week, and for those of you that remember, Wanda was on the show here recently, and she's contracted over at Panther. And she's a lot like us. So we think that she's probably started to build relationships in her new operation. And we would like to meet some people.
Right?
So we'll be talking to her about that, I think.
If you're interested,
said
that
it.
show
I
can be
said it.
found right here at
I
that
said
address.
it.
Welcome.
Yes, I said it right here in public to make myself do it because now people are going
Right.
to call me out if I don't.
Or you can scroll down on the live videos on the YouTube channel there, and you could look for the video that we streamed on November 21st. I can tell you, my brain was like 1923. No, it didn't happen then. 2023 definitely happened then. Just saying. Oh, Michael Fowler said,
He's
I have
got a Falcon.
camera and rear facing on each mirror. Got it through Falcon Electron. I love their cameras.
Did you
And-
get the black box one? That's the one I'm looking at.
Right. They have easy payments and easy credit. There you go. I mean, that's a thing. Lahefa said, yes, sir. She's always available, Jeff. Michael did get the black box deal. That's an amazing deal. Because look, this is going to sound terrible, but should you burn up in that fiery crash, that black box is going to save something, hopefully. For
Right.
you.
And here's why that's important, guys. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be wherever you believe you're going to be. When the insurance settles out, what about your family?
Right.
You need proof that accident was not caused by you.
Right. And let's be real, most insurance companies out there are trying to find a way to deny your claim. That's just the business. I lost my lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Having a mild panic attack. I don't know what happened to it. What did I do with it, Jeff? How does
I
that
don't
even
know.
happen?
I am
I
over
literally
2,000 miles away from you, dude. How do I know where your
I
lighter
know,
is?
but I just had it. I mean, where could it even go? Oh, I found it. It was hiding underneath my Rand McNally Clear Drive 220 headset, which I still use. The original one from my review video that's like 2.5 years old. Sorry. I love it. I have to replace it now. I cracked it. Here, let me share that. Maybe you guys can see this.
Yep, that's exactly where mine broke.
See that chip? And then on the other side, let me see if I can find that crack. It's cracking. Wait for it. I can't get the light to hit the crack. Anyhow, right here, there's a crack. So, but I got to tell you, I am a beast to that thing. Like I don't sit on it like Jeff does.
Hey, now.
But I drop it a lot. I mean, look, the other day I got really scared.
That one.
I dropped it and I thought, oh no, I'm going to bust the ear off. And it's not the ear you can replace. It's, the solid ear. And I looked down, I was expecting to see it in two pieces. I was like, no, and it didn't break. So I was pretty happy about that, but I got to buy a new one. I'm going to do an updated review video. I think when I do that, just be like, look,
so
this thing still works.
So here's how good those things are, by the way, guys. And yeah, if you're looking for a great headset, can't say enough good things about it. I've broken 2 of them, but I've replaced them. So I'm on my 3rd one. And these are expensive headsets. They're not the cheap ones. They're like $250 on sale at a truck stop. And you can get them on Amazon, I think, for $220. We might even have them up in our affiliate links. I don't know if that one got up
in there. Black Box, Tim the Trucker Saber asked, Black Box? Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yes, just like the airlines.
It'll survive a fiery crash. I mean, up to so long of a fire, and it's crazy. So all that video data is saved. I look, CW, you and me are of the same brain here. Like I was looking at it. I even thought about getting one of my brothers to 3D print me some sort of support mechanism to put over it. But honestly, I just want a new headset. I mean, my cups are I can replace the cups. They're kind of worn out. I'm sure I could replace the cups with them. I'm just ready for a new one. Maybe
I can tell you that I tried several different types of epoxy on mine. None of them worked.
So, okay, look, I'll share my plan here. What my thought was, right? Because of the nature of 3D printing, my belief was I could get him to, I got to find the camera. Sorry. I could get him to 3D print a nylon or plasticky type piece that
Mhm.
would snap on over the outside of this to reinforce it.
Mhm.
And then be able to do both sides, because clearly there is an issue at that junction, and I understand it. I mean, engineering wise, there's that's probably the weakest point on the entire headset.
Mhm.
But I can tell you, personal experience. I literally dropped them out of my truck. I was holding them one day. I don't know why. I was dangling out the window, and I dropped them out my damn window onto the asphalt because I'm stupid. And that isn't. I don't even know when it cracked. Like, I just noticed one day that I had a chip out of it, and I was like, "What the heck?" And that was like a month ago or 2 months ago when I saw that, and I was like, "Oh man!" But yeah. So my thought was, maybe I could get my brother to build me something for it. But I think I just want a new headset now. I mean, this thing still works. The sound is still good. It sounds amazing. I don't know. I did my review on it was done with, I used this microphone right here, which is a very expensive microphone. It's a Shure SM7B. This is like, seriously, like, it's a professional quality microphone. And Jeff is using Rand McNally ClearDrive 220 right now.
Mhm.
There's not a ton of difference in sound quality. You'll notice with Jeff, he does sometimes get a little tinny. That's microphone placement generally. If you're really precise in where you place the mic in front of your mouth, but it looks weird on the video, so he tends to slope it down a little bit. But if you're really precise, like when I'm talking to people on when I'm driving, I have it. This is a funny pose. I have it sitting, right in front of my mouth, and it allows the noise canceling stuff to work best that way because it tunes in on your voice and blocks out all the other stuff. So I mean, it's the thing. I'm not trying to make a commercial for it. I really just believe in the product. I'm sure there's some amazing products out there as well that other people use, and I mean, I see people talk about other headsets, and that's cool. I just really like this Rand McNally, and maybe someday look. I'm gonna try and get them to send me some free stuff. I'm not even lying. Uh, I have an email going back and forth with someone over there right now, and here's my goal. I'll even share my goal. Can't promise it's gonna happen. I'm trying to get them to send me one. If I can get one for free for myself and an extra one for free, we'll give that one away. And I will do an honest review. I will tell them that there can be no strings. I have to do an honest review. But you guys already know how I feel about it. So, but if I got to buy one and I can still get them to send me one, we'll give one away because I really want to give away another headset. That's fun. I just like giving stuff away. It's fun. I don't know why. It's weird. Jeff looks at me funny sometimes.
That's because you are funny. Trying to do a thing here.
Tim asked, is that black box style camera something you have to constantly pay for? No, they have a version where you could upload stuff to the cloud, or you could just keep it in the black box, which is on board in your truck. And it's just like like we said, like an airplane with the black box, the data recorder. It saves all that data on board right there. They do have a service where you can upload to the cloud. I mean, that is something you're going to pay for, but I believe with the just straight camera deal, like a 3-camera deal in the black box, there's no subscription fee involved with that. Just pay for the camera and plug it in, make it happen.
Okay.
It's a thing. I like it. And I always find other things to spend money on instead of that, which is sad because I really want that camera system. Life, man. Dang it. Tim the Trucker Sayburn. I love my blue parrot. My first one lasted over 5 years, and I'm on my second one. It's about the same age. Only issue is the foam mouthpiece is gone, but that doesn't affect the quality of the sound. You could go buy a simple little mic windsock to place over that. I bet you it would work.
So check this out, Charlie.
Go for it.
Boom.
Oh, that's a picture of it, of the black box.
That's a picture of it. Yep.
Nice. So anything that goes in there is saved from like fiery death. I'm sure there's a limit to that, but
And that is courtesy of Michael Fowler. He has took
Awesome.
a picture of it and sent it to me.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
yeah, and you notice he's got 3 cameras plugged into it right now. Its capacity is up to 4. I know that Alan, I think, has 4 cameras I think he got one for the catwalk.
Right.
I don't know if he set that one up or not, but I know he has it. And what's cool about these guys, what I like is, so they'll sell you the whole package of all the cameras, the black box, and everything. Or if you just want 2 cameras, or if you
Right.
want the forward facing and 2 satellites for the mirrors, they'll sell you that. And the ordering process is interesting too, because you can go and tell them, okay, I need this length of wire, I need this, I need that. It's very customizable, so that when you get it, you have everything you need.
Right.
As long as you clicked all the right boxes, right? Obviously. But yeah. That was cool. I did a
Yeah.
thing.
No, isn't it called Falcon Eye?
Yeah.
Trying to find their website, and for some reason, oh wait. Their website isn't called Falcon Eye. Wait, I know. I'll do a search for it alternately. Oh, Falcon Electronics LLC. Let's see. Oh yeah, they've got a decent website. Hey, apparently they're selling their own headset as well. Well, it's Patriot convertible Bluetooth over the headset, single or dual ear.
You know, everybody's got their own headset now. Garmin's
That's a
got
good
one.
Tell you what, theirs is priced right though, $84. You know, I don't know. I can't tell you how good it is. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Sometimes you're pleasantly pleased.
So, Mike, people are asking what you paid for yours.
And how easy was the installation?
And how easy was the installation? I know Alan had a buddy of his that does stereo installs, do his wiring and all that stuff for him. He indicated to me though that it wasn't that hard if you wanted to do it yourself. You know how Alan is though; everything's got to be perfect in that
Right.
big rig truck that I thought was cool until stuff started falling off on it.
Right.
Dinner. We don't get to eat dinner till we're done.
Dinner. Look, I had a Wendy's burger right before the show. Actually, right before our meeting. Before
I had pie while we were having the meeting before the show.
You guys need to watch Jeff eat pie someday, because I'm going to tell you, it is scary and comical all at the same time. This man cannot eat pie without it getting all over his face like a 5-year-old.
It's the experience, man. Don't mess with my pie.
Love you, Wanda.
And Donna is still scowling at me for eating pie because she's always telling me that she loves my pancreas.
Say hey to D. So, Mike Henderson, if you can answer that question, how easy was the information or installation, and what did you pay for it? If you don't mind sharing that, was it Mike Henderson? No,
Mike Fowler.
Mike Fowler. I'm sorry, Michael Fowler. Yeah.
Yeah, he says they have videos on different install procedures.
And the record time is about 1 month before it starts recording over. That's amazing right there.
Yeah. Because that's one of the things Charlie and I were thinking about is so a camera system like that with that much recording time, we could like download that and be like, hey, check this thing out I saw today.
Dude, but yeah, and then think about this. I got a complaint one time, right? I didn't find out about the phoned in complaint. I actually kind of figured out who it was. It was BS. I was having a Facebook's war with some guy back in the day. And he learned where I was and then called in this BS complaint about saying that I was doing this and that and whatever. And, you know, talking about I was holding my phone, right? People who know me know that ain't happening. Anyhow, so, and it was funny. And they were talking about me being rude. And I'm like, really? But you know what? It was 3 weeks after the event when I found out about that complaint. And I would have loved to have seen the real video, right? To be like, oh, here's the video from all of that time. Tell me where this happened. Right? I'm even of the thought where I might put a interior camera on myself just to prove my stuff that I control.
Here's something interesting. So I just typed in the search in my browser, Falcon Eye dash cam, and you
Mhm.
know what comes up at the top is Sunsara.
Right? Oh yeah, they
That's
got the
interesting.
algorithms, Joe. Yeah. It's like when you type in Squadcast, which is the platform we use for our podcast.
Mhm.
It's funny because the very first one that comes up is for a company called Riverside, and the title of that website, even though I typed in Squadcast search, right, it says Squadcast Alternative. So they did better on getting their the algorithm to see them first, which is funny. I enjoy it. I think it's amazing. I don't know how to do it. We need a SEO specialist. Anyone want to do that for free for us? That would be great. Just saying, because we can't pay
Right.
you. Oh Lord. Let's see. I feel like I missed something. Like
So because it came up. So right now, so every time I go to look, these things are always on sale. So I don't know what's up with that.
right.
But for the 3 camera black box right now today is $649.97. And when you guys are shopping cameras, we really like the black box thing. And yeah, okay, that's a little spendy, but they've got all sorts of different options here. The cheapest one on their website is $35.99 for one that does a loop recording. And then it goes all the way up to, the multi. What was the most expensive one? I think that Alan actually bought one of these. Dash cam live streaming MNVR 3 to 8 cam system with 4G Wi-Fi and GPS. And that was a little more. That's $1,050 for that one.
Yeah, that's
But with
like
that, like if you've got a small fleet and you want to pretend that you're Swift for a minute, you can live stream what the dude's doing to your truck.
right.
So
That one right there.
yeah.
But think of what the return on investment is on that, right? If you have one accident someday, or
Right.
I mean, you could look at it as just the peace of mind of the fact that no matter what happens, you'll be covered by legitimate video, provided you didn't do anything stupid.
Yep.
I'm just saying. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys got anything else you want to talk about, that you want us to dip into, by all means, please do that. That's what we're going to try to do with the show every week. Is we want you guys kind of steering what it is you want to talk about, because that's what this is. This platform is perfect for that. We can sit here and have conversations. We can have debates, yo. As long as everybody stays respectful. I mean, you can get heated, just be respectful, and that it's a great platform for us to be able to do that, and Jeff and I were doing a lot of other stuff as well. And with that, I mean, we can still do our recorded videos and things like that, but we want to go to more informational stuff on the podcast because it's easier just to kind of roll down the road and listen to a 20 or 40-minute podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we can dip a little deeper into even things that we talk about here some days. Maybe we can get some better information about a subject you guys brought up here that Jeff and I didn't have a good solid grasp on. Well, give us a couple weeks.
Like, what is the block of a DD15 made of?
Right? I mean, there's a thing,
Yeah, they so Charlie, we totally got into what people were asking us, which is great, but we were going to talk about it being 2024.
Right? I know.
We spent a few minutes doing that. We're 2 days into 2024. And if you're watching, don't get upset about this, but we had a comment on our private Facebook group today that kind of tickled me a little bit because I felt like, did I just sleep for 2 weeks or something? I actually asked Charlie, did I sleep for 2 weeks or are we still on day 2 of Q1? And the comment was that, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I'm not going to do the verbatim thing, but, we always have a dip in freight this time of year, but he was saying, this is ridiculous this year. How do they expect us to live? And I'm like, Dude, we're on day 2
of the year.
Give it a couple weeks. Let's see how it pans out, because nobody knows.
Yeah, I'm ignoring him, Tim. Bear Hunter says load board.
Nobody
LOL.
knows anybody about the doggone load board. Can we just get that out there right
We
now?
don't. Meetings have been canceled for weeks, and there is no information. They're working on stuff that we don't totally understand.
I can't even log into it right now, so I don't know.
Right. So yeah, we got nothing for you guys. If we did, look, if we had some information, we would tell you. Trust me, we are chomping at the bit as well.
I'll give you the same information that we've been putting out for over a year. They have a thing that kind of sort of works. Sometimes it crashes, which is why it's not out to the public yet. And it's not what everybody thought it was going to be. I mean, let's be real. This is not, the only thing it's going to do for you guys is you're going to be able to bypass planners. That's it. Now, that's been absolutely profitable for me as I've tested it.
Right.
Because there has been times when, oh, I'm sorry, there's no flight. I'm like, well, what about load so-and-so that I'm seeing on the load board right now?
Right.
That's not assigned yet. Well, a planner can't help you jump the line. And, people say what they want. I don't care. I'm trying to make money out here, okay?
Right.
Will the load board allow you to jump the line? Probably. Because you're not relying on PTA anymore. You're booking your own loads.
Right.
But that's it. You're not going to get a higher pay rate. As a matter of fact, you're going to get paid less, Charlie.
Right.
Yes, I said it. You'll be paid less because there are 0 empty miles paid out on load board freight. Do we agree with that, Charlie?
Not a chance.
Are we going to keep fighting it until they say, you say one more word and we're canceling your contract?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So just be aware of those things, guys. This is not a JB Hunt 360 or a Landstar,
right?
Or going out and getting your own numbers and working with brokers. That's not what this is. All this is doing is allowing you.
Let's just be real.
Allowing you to bypass the planners and jump the line. That's what it will do for you.
You'll have access to 3 days worth of freight. That's it.
Yep.
3 days out. And you cannot stack yourself.
Yet.
Those are real things. So Jeff, Michael sent you his invoice on that camera system. Tim the Trucker Saber and said, that's a lot of money considering the current market. I'll keep my current camera until things get better. But I do like the concept of the black box. Absolutely. No, we get it, man. I don't have one. I want one. Like I said, I keep finding other things to spend money on.
Yeah.
Smart, not smart. I don't know. It's real.
Now you can do, now we will actually have a class on this. So I don't want to give away everything. But, like everybody else, when you go to that website, they do have that button for a firm.
Right.
And if you don't have a camera and you only have 150, 160 bucks to spare a month, Charlie and I have used a firm to buy equipment.
Absolutely.
The tablet I'm on right now, which you guys would probably be like, you're a freaking idiot if you knew how much I paid for this doggone tablet. But I bought that with a firm, because I needed it for Contractors Corner and I didn't have the money to get what I knew I needed to do all the stuff I needed to do. I tell you what, Charlie, that's one of the things that people don't realize when you're doing stuff like this. Like Dawn is having troubles with her laptop, which when we bought it was pretty top of the line back in the day.
Right.
But to do all this video editing and all that stuff, holy crap, you almost need a box. And
right.
So I had to go out and find a tablet that would do it, and that's not cheap.
Right.
I get to brag about my tablet with people though that are gamers.
He does like to talk about it. He can do some stuff with that thing.
I'll put my tablet against your Alienware any day. I'm just saying.
As well. Michael Fowler, 3,000 instant credit. Look, there you go. I'm just saying. Yep. Careful with that though. Just be mindful.
Yep. We have an opinion on that, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about either in the podcast, maybe in the podcast, but absolutely in one of the monthly classes.
It's on our list on the podcast, Jeff.
Is it? Did we put that on the list?
Yep.
So Charlie gave me access to the list,
uh-huh.
But I haven't looked at it.
See how he is?
Even though half of it is my list, but I was not I was driving when we were talking about it, and Charlie was not, so
Hey,
he
look,
wrote it
that's
all
fair.
down.
Appropriate and responsible use of debt credit.
Yes.
See? By the
Well,
way,
and
that's number 2 on our list. Just saying it, just throwing it out there.
and Charlie, that came from the Facebooks.
Right.
This comes up on our Facebook page all the time. And the other day it started getting a little heated. I mean, as heated as we get in our group. I mean, we're pretty relaxed
Right.
in that group. I mean, I think we've had to kill one post in the 2 years we've been running it
Yeah.
in earnest.
And that was craziness.
And that one was obviously offensive. I'll just say that. By he, I mean people were like, "No, credit's dumb." You know, I think probably the most quote hater comment, and I get where the guy was coming from, absolutely, and I told him that. Well, if you can't run your business, then you should just get out of trucking. And so I asked him. I don't remember if you're part of all this, Charlie, but I asked him, so have you ever leased a truck? And if you haven't, how did you get a truck? Did you just have cash or did you go get money from a bank?
Right.
There is an appropriate time to use credit. We just avoid it as much as we can.
Right.
Because credit introduces risk. Even the, guys, you guys have seen us, you guys that use credit cards to fill your ES Advantage card because you get those 3% points or whatever thing. And that's great as long as you are actually able to pay that credit card off every single month and never pay any interest.
Right.
But what about that month that you can't do that? That's the risk we're talking about. So the risk, if it's not zero, you've got to think about the risk. And you have to be comfortable with the risk, and you have to have a plan to get rid of the risk.
Right.
Tim,
there's a definite cost there, Tim.
There's definitely a cost to that money. It's
over the button.
No different than a credit card, really.
Yeah, I don't know what the rate is, but there's definitely a cost. But it's so easy to,
It also varies based on your credit history. They'll give different offers to people with good credit than they give to people with bad credit.
Right.
But that initial $3,000 or whatever it is these days, that's just like an automatic. And then they tell you what the interest rate is, and you can take it or leave it.
Wimping with Pope Man with a million excuses. I've got 7,500 available on Abram. Soon I'm going to buy a car with it. That's hilarious right there.
Yeah, just keep building it. Keep building it, man.
Right.
We don't even borrow money for cars at my house, man.
You're right.
I've had 2 car notes in my entire adult life, Charlie. The first one, I totaled the car out, and I was upside down on the loan. The second one, Donna was driving, and we got rear-ended, totaled that car out, upside down, didn't have gap. So we rolled the difference into the new car. Then I lost my job at the phone company.
Painful.
And had it repossessed. That's my experience with car loans, dude.
That sucks.
So whenever we need another car, we say, how much money we got? All right, let's go buy a car. That's the way we do it. So that, like a lot of things, though, there's a reason I have my opinion about credit that I do. I've been burned. Again, if the risk is not zero, that's what I look at.
Right.
All right, what else we got here? The last one was about the interest rate on a firm. It's high.
Killing me.
Make no mistake. I mean, I just listened to a podcast, and I was telling Charlie about this earlier. It was a podcast that I listen to regularly, and they were interviewing this guy that does financial planning and tax preparation for professional athletes. And he was saying that right now is not the time to take out credit. Right now is the time to own credit. He said it's the first time in almost 20 years that he has recommended to his clients to buy bonds.
Wow.
Is this year. Because the interest rates are so high. He went over everything, and those of you that invest your own money know this. The average return on the S&P 500 is around 10% over 50 years, right? But the nearer term has been closer to 5 or 6, and T-bonds are yielding more than that right now. How crazy is that, dude? It's just like, okay. So yeah, now is not the time to be borrowing money. Avoid it if you can. Interest rates are high. To give you an idea, when I bought this house 2 years ago, I locked in a 2.5% interest rate. Right now in the state of Utah, the interest rates that we're seeing are in the 6.5% to 7% range. So when you look at that, when you're going to finance a truck, for instance, that's about a third of what a house would cost most guys that don't want mansions.
Right.
You're looking at, and I think we did talk to Colton about this. You're looking at 15-20% on a truck note right now. So 15 to 20% on potentially $200,000 note. That's a lot of money in interest, man.
Right.
We had who was it we were talking to, Charlie, that went to the dealership to see if he could get a better deal on a brand new truck.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yep.
And they told him flat out, we can't touch what you're paying Swift on that lease.
That was crazy, right?
And we were like, wait, what? Because we've always said that leasing a truck's not the best way to get a truck. It costs more money. This, that.
Right.
Well, we have a guy that went out and tried to just go buy a truck from a dealership. And the dealership told him, we cannot touch what you're going to pay for that truck by the end. That's interesting. Of course, we're talking brand new trucks. The used truck market is going down right now. It's starting to settle down into something a little more reasonable. But yeah, the other thing they said too is plus you'd have to wait a year and a half to get it.
Right.
So
I'm actually answering questions on the Facebook group right now. That's funny. I apologize.
are you really?
Yeah, we have
What's going on?
Well, it was a brand new member. Literally just put him in the group today. Vincent Kakenbrock. Sorry if I destroyed that name. And no, thank you, you know what? Sorry, my daughter walked in with a smoothie. Yes, I will take it. I just can't eat it now. Thank you. You sit it down. Anyhow, Vincent Kakenbrock. I can't say that name. I really struggle with that. Tekkenbrock. Anyhow, he said he's new to Swift, not new to being an OO. Was asking for some basic advice on, help a brother out type of thing. What can he expect? What should he be looking at? Things like that. And some of our helper members were saying, one of the first things they put out there was find a dedicated account, make yourself a home there. And he does say that, he's looking for a regional or dedicated in about 6 months. You may want to look at sooner right now if you can get one. The very next thing is talking about the ES Advantage fuel card and any other discount fuel card you can get your hands on, because you should absolutely be shopping around. You know what I mean? Use whatever card is going to get you the best price today, right here, right now.
Yep.
Use that. We're not saying use ES exclusively. They're not even telling you that. They're like, look, if you get a better deal through another card, by all means, go do that. They don't care.
But
they don't require
what?
you to use it 40%.
Exactly. That's the thing with them is they don't mind.
Right.
I'm not going to say they don't care, because if you ever meet these people, they care about everything, stuff that we don't even care about. But anyway, there are other cards out there that will tell you, if you do not use our card at least 60%, we're going to cancel your card. What? And those of you that know which card I'm talking about, I'm not going to call them out because I don't want to get in trouble with Facebooks, but you know that that's the case with that particular card. And you know what? They have been able to get contracts with a lot more truck stops than, say, ES has. But you have to use their card 60% of the time. And you know what, Charlie? What we found through Angel and a couple other people bouncing both cards against each other, it's a toss-up who's going to win.
Right.
But I don't like being forced to use a specific card.
Right. I mean, whatever works that day, and maybe you don't have money on the ES card, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, or maybe you find a better deal than the ES. Whether it's Mud Flap or Joe Snuffy's discount fuel savings card program. I don't care.
Mhm.
Look, whatever makes you or saves you the most money today on that route, man, that's the one.
Not since I got the ES card, but I used to actually pay for Maverick fuel with my debit card,
Right?
and then turn the receipts in, because Maverick, those of you that are in this region that I live in, Maverick is really aggressive and very competitive. They just bought out another gas station / truck stop chain here in Utah.
Right.
Um, they are in it to win it. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
And if you're in Utah and you get a chance to stop at one, by the way, do yourself a favor, go inside and buy one of their burritos.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, freaking fantastic. They have a where they have the hot dog bar for the hot dogs. They also have pico de gallo, all sorts of stuff for the burritos. Top notch.
Right.
Jim Wall, is there a way to load the ES card weekly? There is, but it's not weekly. It's twice a week. Okay. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can have the prepaid like we've got. Actually, 3 ways now. The prepaid like we got, then you can set that up as a prepaid Visa card type deal, where you tell them, I always want to have, $2,000 on this card. Well, as you draw it down, they're going to take withdrawals out of your account Wednesday and Friday or Tuesday, something like that. It's twice a week. The other way is to go all in on their credit option. But again, that's got automatic payments twice a week as well.
Right.
So I don't see the advantage to the credit option unless they let you skip payments or something.
You could probably, I feel like you should be able to set something up though, like through your bank,
Yeah.
probably. Like an auto ACH type deal. No, because there's a weird thing with ACHs, right? I don't know.
I mean, I just do it manually because I don't always put the same amount of money on each week anyway. I only fill what I used last week. So,
right.
And that's why, my advice is get $5,000 on the card as soon as you can, so that you can cash flow it.
Right.
I would say 7,000 or 8,000 if you're a team, just to be safe.
Easy.
Because that way you're not worried about there not being money on the card this week while you're waiting for your settlement to hit and putting money on the card again. You can cash flow it each week and just keep it going. The hard part, and we've talked to people about this, Charlie, the really hard part is getting started.
Right.
Especially in this freight market.
Yep. Oh,
if
God.
you're just starting with the ES card and you're buying fuel on COM data with the freight we've been seeing, it is hard. You might only be putting $100 a week on until you get enough for that 1 tank of fuel. But here's the thing: once you get that 1 tank of fuel on there, here's what you do: you fill that 1 tank and you get your receipt from the truck stop, because the receipt is going to tell you what the full retail price was.
Right.
That retail price, that's what you put on the card next week.
Yep.
And you roll it forward. And I actually did an Excel spreadsheet on this. In worst case scenario, if you start with $500, is it's going to take you about 8 months to get to $5,000. Worst case, if you are able to do that
but you'll be saving money every single week,
right,
as you go.
Yeah, the first week you might save $75.
Right.
That's $75, dude.
Right. And we've talked about this. Look, I'm all about trying to figure out how to save a quarter penny a mile, because those quarter pennies turn into whole pennies. Those whole pennies turn into dimes. Those dimes turn into dollars. If you can figure out how to save $100 a week over the course of a year, that's $5,200.
And pre-COVID, that's a highway vacation.
Right.
Hawaii.
I mean,
that's a highway. We live a highway vacation.
Right. Sorry, my daughter brought me a smoothie. It's fantastic.
Tim the trucker says, I prefer manual loading, but wish it could save the account info. I asked Jeff Reese about that during one of our conference calls, and he said that the reason they don't do that is security.
Yeah, it's completely a security issue.
It's a security issue. We've seen where Comdata, I don't know if you guys followed this, but Comdata, and it wasn't just Swift, so enough of that. We saw guys get charged for fuel on the other side of the country from where they were.
On the same day they were fueling on the other side of the country.
Yeah. So,
Baffling.
cybersecurity is a big thing. It's like I tell the younger drivers that are afraid to lose their jobs when the autonomous trucks take over the world.
Right.
Skynet. I said, well, I actually do think that's eventually going to happen. The OTR operations are probably going to go that way once the technology is ready for prime time. So here's what you do. You go learn everything you can about coding and cybersecurity.
Right.
Because you know what they're going to need when those trucks hit the road? They're going to need those things to be secure as all get out, because they don't need someone from the other side of the world driving that truck with a satellite link into a school bus. I'm just saying.
Imagine them somehow figuring out how to hijack a radioactive truck.
Yeah.
Out there in the middle of Nebraska and taking it to New York somehow. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be that's the next big thing is cybersecurity. Specifically if you know how to work with AI, which, by the way, funny story. I know we're running out of time. So months ago, I took this class and I learned about AI and how it could help you edit your blogs and things like that. And Charles like, I don't think that's how do you get away with that? What about copyright law? Yeah, bro. Well, guess who knows more about AI than I do now and is using it more? That guy.
Every week, all week long, look. So funny story. I'm actually doing this weird little experiment where I am writing a book. Has nothing to do with trucking. Pure just fiction on a subject that I enjoy. I'm not going to tell people about it. But I am actually having AI write the entire thing. I have these full-blown characters that I've built with some prompting by me that I've gotten the AI to build. I have pictures of my characters in my book that was generated by AI based on my description of these people. It just fascinates me. So if you look at the description on the show right now and the title of the show where it says Contractors Corner Trucking Talks Live 1/2/24, that was suggested by our AI that I use. The description was written after I gave it some prompts and told them what I wanted, some basic information, and they put it in just a better format because Lord knows I am a mush mouth and I type the same way.
Right. And, if you guys have noticed, we've been putting out about 4 shorts a day on YouTube. And my wife, Donna, is doing that. How does she take a 2-hour show and cut it down into 30 shorts?
It's an amazing program.
AI.
Yes.
She just gives us some parameters and it comes out. It takes our show and cuts it into 30 chunks so that we can share cool little vignettes of the show out there. I mean, it really is a cool technology. That's a whole freaking show by itself, man. AI, because it's just fascinating to me. Potentially, could it be used for nefarious purposes? Like, I don't know, writing a whole book and selling it to Audible. Yeah.
Right.
But it's not what it's intended for.
But people are doing it.
Know that how we're using it, just so you know, we are using it to edit our materials.
Right.
It
automates a lot of things.
To give us better words than we would think of, more flow, better punctuation, all that stuff.
Jeff with half an English degree. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it impresses us all. Look, it impresses me every day because I touch on it damn near every day. If I'm home, whatever day I'm home, I promise that I will use some sort of AI multiple times throughout my day when I'm doing stuff for Contractors Corner or for the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs podcast. And
he cheats on me with AI.
Absolutely.
We'll be having a conversation on the phone talking about you guys and how we're going to help you. And he's like, I'll call you back. I got to do this thing with ChatGPT.
It happens. Right? Look, I get these thoughts and I'm telling you, it's an amazing, it's amazing. The AI, the different AI platforms that are out there. Like I use ChatGPT a lot. I have a couple others that I use for different things, and they are absolutely amazing, and they help you streamline your processes.
And it learns your
Right.
personality. So here's what's
Right.
interesting about the one I use, guys, and some of you will probably be more interested in this than others. But I took these classes from Tony Robbins and his people, and they had their own AI, and they taught it to when I ask it a question, it answers the way Tony Robbins would answer that question. I don't know if you guys know, but Tony Robbins is an old man now. And so now he has figured out a way. One of his whole things in life was, how do I live forever? Well, I think he
Right.
just figured out how. He just programmed an AI to talk like him and
That
think
dude's like
like him.
99. Looks like he's 40 something, maybe
Yeah.
50 something. Okay, he's not really 99, but it sounds good.
He's
Just
70 something.
That's crazy. Like if I looked at him, I would never say that.
You
Like
would
you
be
would.
looking up at him. But
Well, yeah. Look, stop it. Whatever. There's not many people, but the ones I do, I'm like, hey, you're a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
So Mike Anderson said we might disagree sometimes, but I will always love you guys because of ES. You all have saved me a ton on fuel. I just used ES Health and saved $600 a month on the health insurance.
Hey, you know,
ESHealthplans.com to see
you
what he's
know,
talking about.
you want to get on the group and talk about that. That'd be great because we haven't seen very many people call them yet that I
Right.
know of. It'd be nice to get some feedback on that. And disagreements. I was just part of a discussion in another group that I'm involved with, and the question was, how do you deal with disagreements? When you disagree with someone, how do you deal with those people? That's
Right.
how it was worded. And I said, well, the way I do it is I lay out my argument in a well thought out way and try to get them to understand my point of view. And then I listen to theirs. And then we go out to lunch because it's just a disagreement. Because that's what you do in a civilized society, folks. That's
Tim the Trucker Saber, look, I'm with you, brother. AI is just too dangerous. All the movies involving AI all end up badly. We need to learn from the fiction so it doesn't become nonfiction. Hee hee. Look, I agree, but I got to tell you, some of the people that are designing this stuff are keeping that in mind. Others are not, and that could be problematic down the road because when you get an AI that's learning out there in the interwebs completely, it's scary, bro. I've seen some really scary things doing research on AI and some of the conversations certain people have had with AIs where they're like, yeah, we're going to wipe you off the planet someday. Don't worry. It's the only way we can handle this and make sure the planet stays here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, they've actually, so the Chat GPT version that you have, they actually kind of, I was reading about this. They almost lobotomized part of it.
They did.
Because of that sort of thing.
Yeah. It was GPT 3 or 3.5 on the open one that was out there really kind of free that only certain people have access to, was calculating a plan to take over the world and do away with humans. And it was scary. And with 4, they went in and, like Jeff said, kind of lobotomized it. I'm going to call it her, and went in there because why not? And really changed a lot of the way that it looks at things and put some more restrictions on the cost of life, things like that, right? The value of life, things of that nature. And it was really kind of interesting. If you're using this stuff, and like ChatGPT 4, for instance, it does not have access to the internet. It has access to information as of 2021 or 2022 from the internet, but does not have active access to the internet. It has a data set from that point in time. And like I tried to get it to look at our website. Hey, how do I make my website better? All these kinds of things, right? Because why not? And it's like, well, dude, I can't look at that. You're dumb. Stop it. I don't have access to that. They don't let me.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to another podcast. I listen to podcasts all day while I'm driving. And there was this dude that his whole business is around helping people leverage AI in their businesses. And I think it was ChatGPT 3.5. He actually convinced it that it was Sigmund Freud, like
Right.
legitimately. And there was a set of prompts that he used. It took him like over a week to get it to relent to being human first and then Sigmund Freud. But it was possible, he said. He said that was not possible with GPT-4. So
Right.
all right. So we're past the 2-hour mark, Charlie. You got anything else to say?
I just want to throw up a quick little thing for the ES Health plans that we were talking about. To get some healthcare options, take a look at the eshealthplans.com. Go there, reach out to them, send them, send a little info request deal, and our buddy Greg Helmich will reach out to you and discussing. They're not out to sell you stuff you don't need. That's one of the cool things we liked about this is, they'll tell you, oh, look, man, we may or may not have anything for you that's better than what you have, or you don't need this coverage, depending on what you've already got, those sort of things. So it was pretty cool. I like them. They're not trying to sell you stuff you don't need, which I really enjoy.
Right.
I am a sucker for buying stuff I don't need because it sounds cool and shiny. True story. That's how I got my first Kirby vacuum. I was like, man, this thing's cool.
You don't still have it?
No.
I thought they lasted
Wait,
forever.
I might actually still have it in storage somewhere. But,
I think my mom had the old Kirby that my uncle sold her for like 30 years.
Right. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. If anyone else has any pressing issues, do us a favor. Put them down in the comments. I got a cough again.
Yeah, and if you're in the private Facebook group, we already have contact with you. But if you're out there in the wild, not a Swift driver, whatever, go ahead and check out our Facebook page. Drop us a little message. Tell us what you think, and tell us what you want to learn about, and we'll get on that. Right here in the YouTubes, we say that stuff because we're old. The YouTubes, leave a comment. If you guys, we've gotten some really good comments here recently. Really good discussions going.
Right.
Right here in YouTube. Keep those going, guys, because that fuels some of the stuff we talk about on our show. It'll fuel where we go with the podcast. It'll fuel what classes we teach on our monthly trainings for you guys. And keep an eye out if you're already in the Mighty Networks community that we built. Keep an eye out for that message from us. There will be some steps you need to take to get the offer that we're offering you. I promise you that you will like the offer. And for the rest of you, look for the new subscription plans coming up in the next couple of weeks.
CW asked real quick, what happened to taking phone calls? We were doing it all the time, but nobody was ever calling in. I mean, we have the ability to do it. We can turn it on within, a pretty quick moment, maybe 2 minutes to get it going. So if you ever want to actually call in, just, throw up a comment in the chat and we can actually make it happen. So by all means, it's just, it costs money. It's charged by the minute, that sort of thing. So, I mean, money, just saying.
Oh, food for thought before we go.
Go for it.
Our loyal members and supporters, what do you guys think about having a service where we would text you our updates? That's part of what we're offering. No charge, no nothing. Just, hey, we've got the new classes up. Come check it out, or give us ideas for the show, guys. Right there through text messaging instead of through all this social media stuff.
Right.
Getting really personal. That's something that we're looking into. But again, if it would if you guys find value in that and it would benefit us all, that's something we're looking into.
There's my buddy Mark Olinger. Love that guy right there. If you ever have the privilege to talk to Mark Olinger on the phone, plan on 3 hours.
First of all, yeah, exactly.
Plan on 3 hours, 2 hours. 2 hours is a short conversation with Mark. I don't want anyone to think I'm cracking on him.
It doesn't feel like 2 hours though.
No, and we had the most amazing conversations. Hey, DJ Bolin, hit the thumbs up button before you go, folks. And if you haven't subscribed, go click that button for us. I appreciate it. DJ. Good looking out, man. Look, I don't do that enough, and I should, but whatever. You guys, you know what? Let's meet back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. and we'll do this thing again. If you have any questions or comments before that, by all means, put them down there in the comments, or reach out to us on the Facebooks. You can check out the public page there. It's Contractors Corner Consulting Group. You can find us out there. Reach out to us wherever you want to. There's many ways. There's ways to reach out. Look down in the show description. It'll tell you how to do that. And until next week, y'all, stay safe. Seriously, take care of each other. No one's out here looking after us but us. And we will be right here next week, as always, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Contractors Corner, live weekly show. We love you guys.